Welcome to the second episode of K.Aire Jamz. I am your radio host for the hour, MissTinyTien. Whether you're a regular listener of Aewen Radio, a lovely and loyal YouTube subscriber of mine, or simply a K-pop lover who stumbled upon the best K-pop radio stream ever, you won't be disappointed. K.Aire Jamz is a show fit for all. Before I give you news junkies my music video review and news updates, daydream about idol encounter scenarios for all you fangirls and fanboys, and toss up some underrated song recommendations for all you classy sirs and madams, let's stir things up with b.a.p's Hurricane. Byung! You just finished listening to a few of my favorite new releases of the week. That was Hurricane by b.a.p, Incredible by Sia Junsu, and Unbreakable by Kim Hyun. Annyeong everyone! Welcome to the K-pop music video review and news segment of K.Aire Jamz. This week was jam-packed with a gazillion comebacks, but news was kind of minimal. I was overwhelmed with the amount of new music video reaction requests that I got on YouTube, and I even did 2 music video reactions in one day. I've never done that before. So yeah, that was pretty crazy. You guys can check out my music video reactions to 방탄소년단's We Are Bulletproof Part 2 and b.a.p's Hurricane on my YouTube channel, LeggoMissC. I'm sad I wasn't able to do a reaction video for Kim Hyunjung's Unbreakable, Beast's Shadow, Infinite's Destiny, or even EXO's drama version of Wolf, but there was just too much all at once, and my poor little K-pop fangirl heart could not keep up. To try and make it up to you all, though, I'll give my review on a couple of these music videos here. Let's start off with my music video review of the week. We just finished listening to Unbreakable by Kim Hyunjung featuring J Park, or should I say, Unbreakable? Anyways, the music video was definitely amazing. From an artistic point of view, I love how traditional Korean performance art was fused with modern aspects of performance. For example, I love how they fused Pungmul performance with breakdancing. That was really, really cool. For those of you who might not be familiar with Korean traditional performances, Pungmul is usually referred to as farmer's dance in English. Performers traditionally wear hanboks and a hat, which has a long ribbon attached to the top. They often dance in circular formations while spinning their head to twirl the ribbon. Super neat to watch. The mask dancing with the sword fighting was also amazing to watch. I also found out that the female sword performer is actually Infinite member Dongwoo's sister, Jang Go-dip. She appeared on Star King as part of a sword martial arts performance back in 2010. I also thought it was super creative when the horse evaporated into the Porsche and the Lamborghini evaporated back to the cow, representing the change in modes of transportation from the past and present. Now, setting aside my artistic critic side, I'm sure all fangirls can agree the best part of the entire music video was the 2:40 mark when Kim Hyunjung rips off his shirt like a beast and reveals his artwork of a body. Whew! All those flawless bodies dancing in the rain. Oh my gosh! Hold on. Hyperventilating. Okay. Back to the artistic critic side. Yeah, the golden change really complemented Kim Hyunjung's darker skin tone in the music video. Oh my gosh, who am I kidding? Oh my god, Kim Hyunjung-jang! J Park also added a dope twist to the song with his verse and rap. His perfect English almost, and I repeat almost, made up for Kim Hyunjung's unbreakable English. Overall, amazing comeback, Hyunjung oppa. Now, moving on to Beast's Shadow music video. That was quite a music video. Though I might anger some of the beauties out there, let me make it straight to everyone first. I am a hardcore beauty. I love Beast with passion, and my bias is Ki-kwang oppa. I was even there for their Beautiful Night comeback stage on Inkigayo last summer and appeared in the broadcast for like 2 seconds. Shout out to Ijaz and Betsy. I vlogged about it, so you guys can actually find my vlog experience on my YouTube channel. But even though I love Beast so much, this music video just didn't do it for me. Maybe it's because I'm a scaredy cat, but the music video creeped me out with this dark theme, the snakes, spiders, and scorpions, the guy with the corpse face paint. Oh my goodness. But on a somewhat brighter side, Ki-kwang oppa looks so amazing with his red hair. Oh my goodness. And I love the sleek side-to-side dance. Oh, kind of off topic though. Not about the music video, but while we're talking about Beast, I am so jealous of all the beauties who went to their concert in Seoul. One of my friends caught one of those red signed balls that they threw out to the crowd at the concert. Oh my god, jelly feels unleashed. Oh my god. But anyways, new topic. Don't you guys think it's about time for K-pop producers to proofread their English lyrics? I mean, seriously. Especially if it's going to be the main phrase of a chorus. Come on. I mean, I'm shadow, shadow, shadow. And b.a.p, I'm hurricane, we hurricane. Since when did shadow and hurricane become adjectives? And I think we can all agree that Himchan stole the grand prize for most epic English of the month. The loof is on fire. I just can't facepalm hard enough. But me being the long-seasoned K-pop fan that I am, I'm quite used to these English potholes, but it's just when I see people who are just getting started with K-pop, it's hard to find a song free of any English to introduce to them. You know what I mean? Now with the music video reviews out of the way, let's continue our merry little way and take a look at what's currently hot and spicy in the K-pop scene. Like I said earlier, K-pop news these past couple of weeks has been pretty mild. Roy Kim was caught in a plagiarism controversy since his hit song Boom 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 sounded undoubtedly similar to the song Love is Canon, the ukulele version by K-indie band Acoustic Rain. This plagiarism scandal is not as simple as it looks though, because Roy Kim's Boom 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 sounds identical not to the original Love is Canon, which was released a year before Boom Boom Boom, but the ukulele version, which was actually copyrighted a month after Boom 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 was copyrighted. CJENM, Roy Kim's agency, released an official statement on the 16th, explaining that the song was co-composed by Roy Kim and Bae Yong-kyung, and arranged by Jung Ji-chan and Kim Song-yoon. All of the players in the production of the song claimed that they had never heard of Acoustic Rain's Love is Canon before the controversy blew up. The Korean Copyright Commission looked over parts of both Boom 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 and the original version of Love is Canon, and concluded that there was no plagiarism between the two songs. What I'm wondering then is, if all of these announcements are true, which I'm not sure how much truth there is, doesn't that mean that Acoustic Rain plagiarized Roy Kim's Boom Boom Boom? Whatever the dealio is, this whole controversy is not good for Roy Kim, whose music I happen to love listening to. Roy Kim's planning on going back to school at Georgetown University this fall term, and people are accusing him of doing so just to avoid the whole controversy. I personally don't have very strong thoughts about this whole controversy, as I love all of Roy Kim's other music as well. I just hope he doesn't quit music completely for school. That would be such a waste of talent. Let's take a listen to one of my favorite songs by Roy Kim, his newest song, Love, Love, Love. That was Roy Kim's newest song, Love, Love, Love. Moving on with a few more quick news updates. The Ministry of Defense announced that South Korea's celebrity recruit unit, the Promotional Support Brigade, would be abolished. Seeing as this decision is quite controversial, I won't go into the details on the opinions of international K-pop fans versus South Korean K-pop fans versus just South Koreans in general. However, starting August 1st, all celebrity recruits will be reassigned to different units. Also, it has been announced that Seven and Sanction have been sentenced to 10 days in military jail for their wrongdoings. The Ministry of Defense said, and I quote, "The two soldiers first went to get a massage after their concert. They went to a Chinese massage parlor and then a Thai massage parlor, but they were closed, so they went to two massage parlors that were still open late at night. However, they came out right away when they realized what kind of place it was. We decided that they were aiming to get a massage and had no intentions in participating in prostitution. However, we sentenced them to military jail because they broke the rules of not wearing the military uniform as well as leaving the dorms without permission." End quote. Sad day. 5 other celebrities were sentenced to 4 days in jail for possessing a cell phone. As much as I love K-pop idols, I agree with the decision to receive punishments for their wrongdoings. Being a celebrity does not make it okay for you to disregard the rules and do whatever you like. Well, I hope everyone can learn and grow from this situation. Hopefully things like this don't happen again in the future. On a brighter note, things are slowly improving for JYJ, as the Fair Trade Commission has confirmed that SM Entertainment and the Korean Federation of Pop Culture and Art Industry, KFPCAI, had been responsible for blocking JYJ's broadcast activities in Korea. Apparently, these two parties had issued statements pressuring broadcasting companies in Korea to restrict the appearances of JYJ since 2010. The Fair Trade Commission issued a sanction on July 24th, ordering the two parties to stop interfering with JYJ's activities. Woo woo! Hopefully we can see Sia Junsu, Jaejung, and Miki on regular Korean programs and music shows soon. IU also recently spoke up about her intimate picture with Eunhyuk from Super Junior, which was uploaded by her on her Twitter on accident back at the end of last year. Since then, there have been hate comments posted on all of IU's social media accounts, and Eunhyuk was pretty heavily affected by it as well. After keeping quiet about the picture for over half a year, IU finally spoke up on SBS's Incarnation this week. She did not make any excuses and just apologized over and over again for all the people she hurt with her mistake. According to Loen Entertainment's official stand a while back, IU and Eunhyuk are only in a close sunbae-hubei relationship. But who'd believe that? Rumors of marriage and even pregnancy have spread between the two, but IU mentioned on Incarnation that she will be meeting the netizen that started her pregnancy rumor soon. Dun dun dun! Ugh, all of this drama. Even though I'm a huge Super Junior fan, I would rather IU and Eunhyuk announce their relationship publicly, or if they aren't dating, set things straight, than to keep letting fans make assumptions and jump to conclusions. Well, that's it for this week's music video review and news segment of K.Aire Jamz. It's that time of the show again. Lock your doors, shut your windows, grab a plushier pillow, and prepare yourselves for some hardcore fangirling and fanboying with MissTinyTien, only on the Spazzing Segment of K.Aire Jamz. Before we get to the Spazzing Segment, though, we're going to take a short, exclusive music break and listen to a few special favorites of mine, starting with a song that I've had on replay for the last few days. Where Do You Want to Go? 어디 갈래? By C-Love, Crush, and Gary. Welcome back from the music break. You just finished listening to C-Love, Crush, and Gary's new release, Where Do You Want to Go? 어디 갈래? YG songwriter and producer Lydia Paik's epic cover of J Park's 좋아, and Dolce & Bond's remix of G-Dragon's Without You, 결국. The time has finally come. It is time for all fangirls and fanboys to unleash their inner desires, only here on the Spazzing Segment of K.Aire Jamz with MissTinyTien. On this segment, I will pick several viewer and listener responses to an imaginary K-pop idol scenario given in the last episode. The scenario for this episode is as follows. You and your significant other, who is your bias of course, have one kid. Your kid is about to start his or her first day of kindergarten, but is anxious and doesn't want to leave you two at the gate of the school. How would you two get your child to take his first steps into the classroom? Please don't forget to include who your wife or husband is and whether your child is a boy or a girl. The TheKPANation says, my husband would be Kyuhyun from Super Junior. We would have a girl and she would be crying in the car all the way to school. Then in the classroom she wouldn't let go of his leg when we tried to leave. So he sang her favorite song while holding her in his arms. However, it made every child go to sleep. Luckily, it was nap time. We left before she woke up. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, I remember nap time. Oh, nap time was the best. Definitely the best. MissTinyTien says, my husband would be Thunder, Chundong from M Black. And our child would be a boy, Peter. As Peter is feeling anxious about his first day of school and doesn't want to leave us at the gate of the school, Thunder and I will be singing and dancing to Peter's favorite song, Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Toes. Peter would then join us in singing and dancing to the song to shake off his anxiety and nervous feeling. After we all sing and dance, Thunder and I walk Peter to his classroom to greet his teacher. When Peter met his teacher, he felt a little scared and hid himself behind Thunder. Thunder bent down, hugging Peter, and gently pat his back to comfort him. I whispered to the teacher that Peter loves to hug and loves eating sweets. The teacher then went over to her desk to grab a piece of candy and headed back to Peter, offering him her candy and a hug. Peter was still reluctant to accept the teacher's offer, but as Thunder gave Peter a warm smile, assuring that it would be okay, Peter nodded and accepted the teacher's offering. Peter has finally overcome his anxiety as well as his fear of the teacher. Before Thunder and I leave Peter's class, we pinky promise with Peter that we will take him to the amusement park after school ends. He jumped for joy and gave us both a tight hug with a big shout. Mom, Dad, you guys are 대박! And as Thunder and I walked out of his room with our arms linked together, we turned our heads back and saw that Peter was already making new friends. Oh, so cute! This is such an adorable scenario. Anonymous says, Tanya and I have a son, and when entering the gates, our little boy hides behind my dress, and Tanya would be like, yeah, son. He grabs our son by the shoulders. Appa was scared too when he started school. You will have so much fun today. After school, your mom and I will pick you up, and afterwards, let's go fly airplanes. Tanya kisses his son's forehead, and as the little boy walks off with the other kids, he grabs a hold of my hand and smiles his childlike smile. As Chanya held my hand, I began to wonder how I ended up with this kid adult. Someone who is young at heart, and yet someone who protects and caresses his family. After school, we pick up our boy and head towards the toy store to buy a remote airplane. 15 years later, our little baby became a captain pilot. Oh, it's adorable! I can see Tanya being a really good daddy. Here is Lulu21's scenario. At home, I am making lunch for my son, and my husband, comes up behind me and gives me a hug and embraces me. Then he whispers in my ear how happy he is that our son is finally going to school so he can have alone time with me. Ooh. My son walks in and sees us, and he tells me to hurry up because he wants to go to school. On the way to school, and I are holding hands, and my son quickly gets in between the both of us and tells me not to hold his daddy's hand, but only his. Oh my god, that's so cute. I laugh and agree. As we arrive at the gate of the school, my son doesn't want to go in because he tells me that I will be alone, and he doesn't want me to be alone. Oh, as a protective son, is so cute. Then he pretends to get sick as an excuse for him not to go in. Then gets down and tells him that everything will be okay, that he's a big boy now, and that he needs to go to school and make many friends, and that his mom will be okay because she has daddy. They then have a father and son argument. But they can't seem to agree because both of them are selfish. So I have to interfere and tell them both that I need alone time. They both agree after some family discussion, and my son then has the courage to go inside the classroom. I give him a hug and a kiss and tell him to be good. And and I both wave goodbye to him. The funny thing is that he was acting the whole time as if he was nervous, when in reality he really wasn't. He was acting so that I would pay more attention to him and agree not to be alone with because he doesn't like to share his mommy. Oh man, what a greedy child you have there, Lulu21. Okay, are you guys ready to hear my scenario? Yeah? Ready? Okay, here's my answer to this episode's scenario. My husband would be Sia Jinsu. Oh, what is this I hear? MissC without Zello? Say what? I know, but hear me out. Let me explain to all you K-pop fans. A fangirl and fanboy can have many biases. I'm not talking about just biases of each K-pop group, but biases for different talents and scenarios. For example, G-Dragon is my ultimate bias. But would I ever date him? Nope. Okay, girls, put down those knives. Hear me out. G-Dragon is my ultimate bias as an artist and a fashionista. When it comes to performance, stage presence, songwriting, and fashion, he is unmatched. But he's a little too short, too skinny, and too materialistic for me to date or marry. Now let's talk about my crazy fangirl biases, Della of b.a.p and Jimin of BTS. They are just two little bundles of... Oh my god! Whenever I see them, I want to pinch their cheeks and put them in my pockets to take home with me. These biased feelings, though, let me explain, exist because b.a.p and Bangtanso년단 have been so active as groups in the past month. They're always coming out with new songs and videos on YouTube and make it just impossible for any of my pedonuna feels for them to die down. Okay, enough about biases. I'm actually planning on doing a K-pop ultimate bias tag in the near future, so I'll save the rest of my explanations for that. Now back to the scenario. My husband would be Sia Jinsu. We would have a little girl just because I feel like Sia would be the type of daddy that would adore a little princess. He's the type that would surprise her every 3 days or so with a new teddy bear or doll and sit outside on the porch with her drawing pictures of little squirrels that run by. Anyway, so it's our little girl Jasmine's first day of kindergarten. Sia's alarm rings at 8 a.m. in the morning, and he kisses me on the forehead to wake me up. Chagia, you know what today is, right? I'm still half asleep and just mumble, what? He chuckles and gives me that angelical smile. It's our daughter's first day of school. I shot up and threw my blankets over him. Oh my god, I overslept! No! I ran to the bathroom and splashed water on my face to wake up. My original plan was to wake up early, cook breakfast, and pack homemade lunch for a little girl to take to school. So much for that plan. After washing my face, I dashed downstairs to the kitchen, and lo and behold, the table was all set with breakfast, and there was even a pink lunchbox laying at the end of the table. 2 arms slipped behind my waist, and Sia pulled me in for a back hug. Pablo, yeah, you have me, remember? I facepalmed myself and laughed. What would I do without you? He kissed me on the cheek and we went back upstairs to wake up Jasmine. Sia kissed our little girl on the forehead to wake her up, just like how he woke me up. Jasmine rolls around in her bed and pulls the covers over her head. Sia whispers, "Sweetie, wake up. It's your big day today." Silence. I tap Sia on the shoulder and say, "Honey, I think she fell back asleep." He laughs. "You sure about that?" He turns back to Jasmine. What if we start tickling her?" Jasmine shoots out of bed and runs to the corner of the room with her teddy bear. "Daddy, no, I'm awake, I'm awake." I laugh out loud and motion Jasmine to come over to me. She runs over and gives me a hug. "Good morning, Mommy." I say, "Come on, sweetie, let's get you washed up and dressed." "Okay," she says. While I help Jasmine get ready for school, I ask her, "Are you excited to go to school?" She looks at me with her twinkling eyes and shakes her head. I poke her softly on the cheek and ask her, "Why, sweetie?" After not answering for a little bit, she peeps out, "I'm scared." I give her a hug and tell her not to worry. There's nothing to be scared about. You'll be able to meet so many new people, and they will all want to be your new friends. She pulls away from me and puts her arms behind her back. "You really think so, Mommy?" "I know so," I say. After we finish getting ready, we go downstairs to eat breakfast. After finishing breakfast, I help Jasmine put on her shoes while Sia helps her put on her new backpack. We get in the car and drive to Jasmine's school. After parking in the school parking lot, Sia and I walk Jasmine over to the front of the school where we greet her new teacher. The teacher smiles widely when she sees us. "Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Kim." Sia says, "Hi, Mrs. Liu. This is our daughter, Jasmine." Mrs. Liu looks down at our little girl. "Oh, she is beautiful," she says. Mrs. Liu bends down and introduces herself to Jasmine. "Hello, Jasmine. My name is Mrs. Liu. Nice to meet you." Jasmine hides herself behind Sia's leg. Sia pats Jasmine on the head and bends down to hold Jasmine's hands. "Sweetie, there's no need to worry. Mrs. Liu is a very nice teacher. She'll teach you how to draw many pretty pictures." Jasmine's eyes soften a little and looks up at me. "Mommy, I don't want to go to school." I bend down as well and say, "Sweetie, remember what I told you earlier today? You'll have so much fun. I remember I loved going to school when I was little. You'll get to play with so many new friends." Jasmine's eyes keep bouncing between the teacher, Sia, and me. Sia puts his finger under Jasmine's little chin to hold her head up. "Jasmine, you always said Daddy was the best singer, right? And you love hearing Daddy sing?" Jasmine nods excitedly. "Well, Mrs. Liu here used to teach Daddy how to sing in school. If you want to learn how to sing like Daddy, don't you want to learn from Mrs. Liu?" Jasmine's eyes lit up. She turned to Mrs. Liu. "Really, Mrs. Liu? Did you teach my Daddy how to sing?" Mrs. Liu laughed. "Why, yes, I did, but that was a long time ago, when your Daddy was just as big as you were." Jasmine gasps in disbelief. "Wow! Please teach me how to sing, Mrs. Liu. I want to sing with Daddy when I grow up." Mrs. Liu nods. "Let's go, but say bye to your Mommy and Daddy first." Jasmine turns back to the both of us and kisses both of us on the cheeks. "Bye, Mommy. Bye, Daddy. I'll sing for you soon." I nodded. "We'll come and pick you up right after school." The two of us watched Jasmine walk into the school holding Mrs. Liu's hand. I slipped my arm behind Sia's back. "Did Mrs. Liu really teach you how to sing?" He laughed. "Yeah, she did. My first song was Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star." I gave him a playful nudge. "You must have made all of the little girls fall in love with you." He shrugs and we started walking back to the car. He suddenly swoops me off my feet and says, "So, what do you say to a date?" I start thrashing in his arms, telling him to put me down. He puts me down when we get to the car, opens the car door for me, and motions me to hop in. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed all the answers to this week's scenario on the Spazzing segment of K.Aire Jamz. I hope some of you guys got a little fangirling, fanboying out of you. For the next Spazzing segment of K.Aire Jamz, let me know what you guys would do if you were put in the following situation. You are at a club and witness an argument break out between a couple standing right next to you. Your bias had just caught his or her significant other cheating and broke off the relationship. Your bias is heartbroken, and you can tell that he or she is about to break down. You've had a couple of drinks, and without even thinking, you walk up to the person who cheated on your bias and tell him or her to scram. You walk your bias over to the bar to try and comfort him or her. Let me know who your bias is, how you would tell your bias's new ex to GTFO, and how you would comfort him or her. Feel free to add any details of future happenings. You can email all responses to MissC at Aewen.com or comment on YouTube after I upload this episode of K.Aire Jamz. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, LeggoMissC, LeggoMissC, to see exactly when I upload this episode. It's now time to wrap up K.Aire Jamz with the underrated K-pop song segment. For this episode of K.Aire Jamz, I will first introduce the extremely underrated K-indie artist, Ra.D. His musical style is a mix of soul, R&B, and hip-hop. He writes and produces his own songs and collaborates with many other artists. Like other artists in the indie scene, Ra.D's music and lyrics talk about common topics of the average day-to-day human life. He sings not only about love, but friends and family as well. Many of you may know the song I'm in Love by Narsha of Brown Eyed Girls. Well, Narsha's version was actually a remake of Ra.D's song of the same title. His music is very underrated, and he deserves so much more spotlight than he currently gets. Let's take a listen to one of my favorite songs by Ra.D, Trip for Me, 날 위해 여행. A couple of my other favorites from Ra.D are That Excitement, 어떤 설레임, and Two Friends, 친구들에게. Next, speed rapper Outsider. He was an underground rapper before signing under hip-hop artist MC Sniper's label, Sniper Sound. Outsider is now under a new label, however, and just recently released a new album titled Rebirth Outsider. He's officially the world's second fastest rapper at 17 syllables per second. But word has it that his record speed is 24 syllables per second. Yeah, 24. Let's take a listen to Outsider's song, Outsider, 주변인, to see just how fast he can go. How about that? Some of my other favorites from Outsider include Crying Bird, 슬피 우는 새, featuring Lee Soo-young, and When the Wind Blows, I Think of You, featuring Ilac. Next on the list of recommendations is Baby G. He released a single back in December of 2009 called Common Love Story, which also included a track titled Crying. He's a soulful ballad/R&B singer, and whenever his songs come up on my music playlist just randomly, I always have to just drop everything I'm doing and relax. Here is Common Love Story, 흥한 사랑 이야기 by Baby G. Baby G hasn't released any other albums to my knowledge, though he has featured in a few songs. One of these is Pieces of Glass, 유리 조각 by Han Ji-eun, featuring Baby G and C-Boy. Sadly, the time has come where I need to wrap up the show. Thank you to all of those who have listened up to now, whether you were here from the beginning or joined in halfway through. For those of you who unfortunately just tuned in and missed most of the show, no worries. You can tune in next time. K.Aire Jamz will air every other week on Saturdays at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and rerun on Sundays at 3 p.m. Once again, this has been your host, Miss C. You can find me on YouTube as LeggoMissC, LeggoMissC. If you guys have any questions about me or just K-pop in general, feel free to email me at missc@aewen.com. 지금까지 MissC입니다. 빠염!